KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to the Wise Guys Construction Braves Basketball pregame show. Whether it's residential, commercial, or restoration construction you need, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa at 785-229-5651. Now, for a preview of this Ottawa University Braves basketball broadcast, here's KOFO's David Potter.
Hello and welcome to McPherson, Kansas on this balmy, warm January day. I'm David Potter, bringing you to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. We have OU Braves basketball on tap for you today. First up, the OU women will bring you the men's game afterward. Tip-off for that scheduled at 5. This women's team has been so much fun to watch this year, and perhaps no game was more fun than Thursday night in Ottawa, where they played St. Mary, busting out a full-court press with occasional trapping pressure for most of the game. Might have lost some of its effectiveness as the game wore on, but really allowed them to jump out to a huge lead very early. St. Mary not prepared for that. It was a different defensive look than what the Braves will usually roll out. And then two players came up huge with career highs in Thursday's game. Seniors Kaylee Williams and the Burlington Bomber Maddie Stewart with 35 and 33 respectively. St. Mary was able to get things going a bit in that second half, cutting a 29-point lead to 11, but never threatened to really take back the lead. So it'll be interesting to see if OU wants to use that similar type of pressure defense, or if they'll go back to what we're used to seeing, which is more of a still an intense pressure defense, but more in the half-court set. They get back and focus more on limiting shots rather than forcing turnovers like they did Thursday against St. Mary. Now, McPherson is a very different team from the Braves. Now, they want to slow the tempo down a bit. They can put up decent point totals. They have in a few games, but they've been in some low-scoring grinds this year, and it wasn't until their fourth game of the year that they were able to total up 70 points in one game. But they have been able to win some low-scoring games. They've won games scoring in the 40s and 50s. So while their offense doesn't sound scary, they can slow teams down to match their style of play, and they play good defense. They can score some points when necessary. So the offensive scoring totals aren't going to scare you too much, but this is a team that can force you to play their style, which is a low-scoring, grinding game, and not every team is accustomed to that and built for that. So it'll be interesting to see who can dictate the tempo in this afternoon's game. Now, overall, the Bulldogs have struggled a bit in KCAC play. They are sitting at 4-5, but 3 of those wins are over York, Bethany, and Bethel, who have a combined 2-25 record in conference and are a combined 4-38 overall this year. So 3 of those 4 wins against the teams that everybody, for the most part, has been able to win against in conference. However, you can't write them off. They did jump up and bite one team already this year. They knocked off Oklahoma Wesleyan here in this building on November 22nd. Wesleyan sitting at 4-5, so one of only 4 teams to beat them in conference so far. They actually got off to a 3-1 start in conference play, but it has been downhill from there. They then lost 4 straight after that, including a 101-74 barn burner against St. Mary. But they played Tabor down to the wire on the road, losing that one just 66-64, and kept it fairly close against Friends, lost by a dozen there. So it's hard to draw conclusions about this team overall. They've been blown out. They've played great teams close. They've pulled off some upsets. They've played great defense, and they've given up 100. I mean, you name it, they've done it. So you could say the consistency maybe has been a bit of an issue for the Bulldogs, but overall, they like to play lower possession games. They defend, and they've managed to stick around in the conference with a 4-5 record. So you can't overlook this team, but it's a game that OU should expect to win, wanting to stay near the top of the conference, sitting at 6-3, just one game behind Kansas Wesleyan. They're in 4th place currently, but if they keep winning, they can move up. And again, kind of the goal this year is to stay right up there with Friends, Tabor, and Kansas Wesleyan. So far, they've not been able to stay right there with them at the top of the conference standings, but they've clearly differentiated themselves from the middle of the pack and established themselves as the number 4 team in the standings right now, and certainly a team capable of maybe moving up and getting into that top 3, or even maybe that coveted second spot that guarantees you a spot in the national tournament as long as the 1 seed ends up winning the conference tournament. We'll go ahead and take a break, and then we will be back with more of the Wise Guys Construction Halftime Show here on KOFO.
Pam Miller of Ottawa recently hired Wise Guys Construction.
We had a home that was nice quality, but it was very dated, and so we had them go in and do some extensive remodeling.
The lines of communication during the project were always open.
They did a good job of making the stressful situation much less.
The results exceeded expectation.
We're very pleased. They did a really beautiful quality job. I would recommend Wise Guys.
Whether it's residential, commercial, or restoration construction you need, be Wise. Call Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa, 229-5651.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
And welcome back to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. David Potter live in McPherson, Kansas, getting ready to bring you Braves basketball between the McPherson Bulldogs and the Ottawa Braves. Now, diving a little deeper into this McPherson team, it is the first time the Braves have faced them this season. And one subject we keep talking about this year is turnovers. They've been a bit of a thorn in OU's side, and it probably cost them a win or two in those games against Tabor and then Friends specifically. But good news, McPherson struggles with them even more. They've turned it over 354 times, and their turnover margin is negative 78. The Braves are slightly better with 338 turnovers and a negative 70 margin. That is still not good, but it shouldn't be an area where McPherson can really exploit OU's weakness in that area. So the Bulldogs shoot 39% from the floor and 30% from three-point range, so they are unlikely to hurt you there. And in fact, that 30% it sounds even better than where they really are, because their main three-point threat this year, Isabella Bacon, no longer on the team. She played in 14 games this season, shot the most threes of anyone on the team, made the most threes with a 43% free throw shooter, so a legitimate three-point threat, no longer on the team. That leaves McPherson with really no perimeter shooting. They're going to have to work it inside and try and get their scoring opportunities there. And then they are also just 62% at the free throw line, which is a really rough number, and down at the bottom of the KCAC in terms of their shooting at the stripe. So given that the Braves are the best field goal percentage defense in the conference, you'd expect the Bulldogs to struggle to put up some points. That means they'll have to try especially hard to tighten the screws on OU's offense, really slow this game down, and limit possession. We'll go ahead and take another break and then be back with the last segment of the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO 1220, and I'm told by Brandon at the station that we're back on air on 103.7 FM.
Anyone can call themselves a construction company, slap a sign on the side of their truck, and drive around town looking for work. Is that who you want to hire? No, you're smarter than that. Wise Guys Construction at 108 North Main in Ottawa has been in business for 13 years, building new residential homes, adding additions and finishing basements, solving commercial structure needs for businesses, and repairing damage left behind from fire or water. When it comes to who you hire for residential and commercial construction needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction at 785-229-5651.
If
If you're scheduled for a radiologic exam such as a CT scan, MRI, or X-ray, visit radiologyinfo.org with over 200 easy-to-understand descriptions of radiologic procedures, diseases, and conditions, as well as screening and wellness topics. Radiologyinfo.org will provide you with information about what you can expect and how to prepare. Get the information you need for your exam and know what questions to ask your radiologist by visiting radiologyinfo.org. Produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
And welcome back to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show. Once again, we are here in McPherson, although you wouldn't know it by looking at the crowd. I'm 100% serious when I say that Braves fans are overwhelmingly outnumbering the McPherson fans. In fact, I'm counting maybe half a dozen McPherson fans in the stands right now. The Braves have really traveled for this one. I see quite a few in front of me on the opposite side of the court, and then some behind me as well. And then, of course, you've got the men's team sitting behind the bench watching the game as well. So as of right now, we have an OU Braves crowd here in McPherson. So we talked about McPherson's struggles on offense, and an interesting to note about the Bulldogs is they do not have a single player averaging double-digit points per game. Cammie Richardson and Brooklyn Coe both averaging just over 9 points a game. Isabella Bacon was just behind them, averaging almost 9, but and again, she was really their only three-point threat on this squad, but again, she is no longer on the team. So this is a bit of an offensively challenged McPherson team that the Braves are going to be playing. And again, the Braves, number one in field goal percentage defense in KCAC play. They're able to really lock teams down in the half court and limit their good looks at the basket. They've done it effectively against some of the best offensive teams in the conference, including Tabor and Friends just before the break. So a team like McPherson that struggles to score is really going to find it a hardship tonight unless they really can get something going or can sort of scheme around the lack of shooting that they've displayed so far. Again, turnovers just as much an issue for McPherson as they have been for the Braves, and in fact, it's a little bit more. So that's another thing to keep an eye on here. Now, one area where they may be able to get a bit of an advantage is the Braves have given up some offensive rebounds this year, and far more than they've been able to gather themselves. And that is an area where McPherson has, if not excelled, at least been respectable. 203 offensive rebounds on, is doing some mental math, 564 missed shots. So you're looking at better than a third of their missed shots turn into offensive rebounds. So that's a pretty good rate. So the Braves will need to make sure they're locking down the defensive boards. And then, as always, something we keep seeing teams do is the Braves have been prone to hanging onto the ball a little bit loosely after they get defensive rebounds. And a lot of teams just immediately go in and start swiping at the ball as soon as the Braves pull down a defensive board, and that's resulted in some turnovers. So that's, no matter who they're playing, that's something they need to be aware of and something they need to make sure they're addressing. And keep two hands on that ball and squeeze it tight until you get the outlet pass and get it out to someone to bring it up the court. Another thing they don't do especially well is forced steals. They've got 128 steals on the season. Again, that contributes to the lower turnover numbers, which again is something that the Braves struggled against certain teams with, but would not anticipate. I would anticipate that being a bit of a wash today. Looks like we are about ready to announce the starting lineups and go through the national anthem. So we will go ahead and take our last break and then bring you the tip-off. You've been listening to the Wise Guys Construction pregame show here on KOFO.
Thank you for listening to the Wise Guys Construction Braves basketball pregame show. Tip-off is next on KOFO. You know Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa as the premier residential and commercial construction company. But did you know they also provide full repair for fire and flood restoration? Here's Bill Crowley, owner of Wise Guys Construction.
We offer full turnkey services, from cleaning and drying to the repairs of your project. We're an insurance preferred contractor. When disaster strikes, experience matters.
When it comes to your residential, commercial, or restoration needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction in Ottawa, 785-229-5651.
Sports, information, and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
KOFO, your sports source for East Central Kansas, welcomes you to this broadcast of Ottawa University Braves basketball. Brought to you by Modern Woodman agent Dale Pearson, Dr. Hale Family Dentistry, Kansas State Bank, Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, the Ottawa Recreation Commission, and by State Farm Insurance agent Ryan Disbro, Ransom Memorial Hospital, Sutton's Jewelry, CarStar, Messengers Home Furnishings. Also by Dingle & Son Mortuary, Ottawa University, the Ottawa Herald, Wise Guys Construction, Kramer Pharmacy, Franklin County Chiropractic, and Cosentino's Price Chopper, State Farm Insurance agent Keith King, Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, People's Bank, Advantage Electric, Quality Structures Incorporated, and Maxwell Chiropractic. Now let's rejoin KOFO's David Potter, courtside for Ottawa University Braves basketball.
We're back. Ian McPherson just about ready to bring in the tip-off. They've announced Ottawa's starting lineup. It is your standard starting lineup of point guard Chelsea Hendricks, guard Jenna Kramer. We've got Kaylee Williams, and forwards Maddie Stewart and Ashley Romig, the two freshmen and the three seniors. They've announced the Bulldogs starting lineup. It is important to note they do play, or they do start a pretty tall front court. They have Brooke Zimmerman at 6 feet out of Aurora, Colorado, and then a freshman 6-footer out of Glenpool, Oklahoma, Danielle Holt. So 2 6-footers and then a 5'10 guard in Cammie Richardson out on the court for McPherson. Here's the tip-off, and the 6-footer Danielle Holt wins the tip-off, and they'll get it into the hands of Cammie Richardson to bring it down. McPherson starts the game with the ball. Working at the top of the key, she tries to find a cutter in Brooklyn Coe. She puts it up off the glass and in, and McPherson strikes first. It was in the first 15 seconds. Nice cut by Coe to get to the basket and lay it right up and in. Hendricks brings it down, sends it over to the right wing to Jenna Kramer. Kramer finds Hendricks in the corner, pushing it around the perimeter. Maddie Stewart wanted to drive and then to back it back out. Here's Jenna Kramer over to Ashley Romig. Shot clock running down. They're going to have to take a corner three. Jenna Kramer off the rim. Kaylee Williams with the offensive board. Sends it out to the perimeter. Kelsey Hendricks going to set the offense back up. We've got a player down. It's Kaylee Williams holding her left ankle. And she looks to be in some pain, and the coach and the trainer are coming out immediately. Hopefully just a turned ankle and nothing serious. We'll go ahead and take 30 seconds while they send to Kaylee Williams and her left ankle. We'll be right back on KOFO.
The Ottawa Shopper has a new look with new features. Never miss your favorite TV show with the TV Guides. Find area church times and the popular Kids Talk About God column on the church pages. And get useful employment tips from our weekly Q&A advice column. Call 242-4700 to get your Franklin County address added to our subscription list for free, or pick up the Ottawa Shopper at multiple racks around town. That's 242-4700.
And we're back at McPherson. They're able to help Kaylee Williams off the floor. It's her right ankle, and she looks to be in some pain, so hopefully the senior will be all right. Coming off a career-high 35 points in their last game on Thursday. There's a foul down low as Ashley Romig got the ball on the post. A little bit too much contact there. Foul on the floor, so it'll be inbounded under the basket. Hendricks to throw it in. Gets it to Maddie Stewart, who had the layup attempt, but it looked like it might have been partially blocked. Misses. Is coming back quick the other way. Christina Battle with the ball. Swings it over to the freshman Danielle Holt. Holt gets it to the top of the key. Now driving his battle, blocked by Melanie Romig. Into the hands of Kelsey Hendrickson, is coming back the other way. Braves moving left to right, wearing all black. McPherson in white, trimmed in red, moving right to left. Melanie Romig swings it over to Jenna Kramer. Thought about the three. Now she's going to kick it to Maddie Stewart. Takes the three off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Battle. McPherson up 2-0 here in the early going. Richardson gets it over to Danielle Holt. Holt, a 6-foot forward, plays so far primarily on the perimeter. She's not really attempted to establish post position down low. Tammy Richardson with a deep three. She's got it, and McPherson's up 5-0 here in the first 2 minutes. Braves playing without senior guard Kaylee Williams, who hurt her right ankle in the first minute. They work the ball around the perimeter. Maddie Stewart, the ball on the right wing. She's going to drive up and out of contact, no call. Ashley Romig got the loose ball as Stewart lost it, tried to throw it out of bounds off a McPherson player, and it didn't end up going out of bounds. McPherson takes it back, misses the layup, rebounded by Romig, and now Ottawa trying to quickly get it back the other way as Ashley Romig fouled by Brooke Zimmerman as she goes up for the shot. She's going to go to the line for a pair of free throws. Romig, an 84% free throw shooter, and shoots the most on the team with 105 coming into this game. First one is good, and the Braves are on the board at the 7:25 mark as Caitlin Hughes subs in for Melanie Romig. Kaylee Williams still being tended to by the training staff. Ashley Romig misses free throw number 2, and McPherson's able to track down the errant rebound. 5-1, McPherson leading here in the early going in the first quarter. There's going to be an offensive foul called against Brooke Zimmerman for a moving screen. That's 2 fouls on the 6-footer, and she will go to the bench. And in comes Victoria Gonzalez, a 5'11 freshman out of Texas. This is a young McPherson team, and they're missing a lot of players due to injury and other reasons. So predominantly freshmen and sophomores on the floor. They work it inside to Ashley Romig. Scoops up and in and one. Ashley Romig finishing through contact, make it 5-3. She'll try and draw the Braves to within a point. 6:57 still to go here in the first quarter, so very early on, but McPherson jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Romig misses the free throw. She's 1 of 3. An 83% free throw shooter, doesn't miss often. McPherson on the other end, swinging it around the outside of the circle. Gonzalez, the 5'11 forward, puts up a 3 and misses, but McPherson able to grab the offensive board. Battle at the top of the key, swings it over to the left, down to the corner, back up to the top of the key. Tammy Richardson wants to drive, gets into the lane, easy layup. Nice move, splitting 2 defenders and getting to the basket. McPherson up by 4. Jenna Kramer gets it to the top of the key to Caitlin Hughes. Maddie Stewart passed up the open 3 to get it into Ashley Romig. She'll kick it back out, and this is going to be, barely saved by Kelsey Hendricks. Good hustle play to save the over and back there. Now they get it inside to Ashley Romig, who's got it, and she has all 5 of the Braves' early points. 7-5 Bulldogs. Battle and Holt passing it back and forth to get it down the court, and that's going to be a reach on Maddie Stewart. No, it's going to be on Caitlin Hughes. They were both right there trying to trap Bulldogs ball handler and be thrown in by Tammy Richardson. So the Braves, who went to a full court defense to surprise St. Mary, have dropped back into a 2-3 zone, a completely different look from anything they showed on Thursday. Just trying to keep McPherson on their toes. The 3-pointer by Christina Battle missed badly. Hendricks able to track down the rebound. Gets it out to Jenna Kramer. Kramer driving, now kicks it out to Hughes. Hughes skip pass all the way over to Hendricks on the right side for 3, no. Rebounded by McPherson. Cammie Richardson will bring it down the court herself. Now swings it over to Battle. Now on the left wing, driving up and in for Brooklyn Toe. Her second layup off the drive today. And for all the talk I had about the Bulldogs' offensive challenges, they have been pretty effective so far. .452 remaining in the first quarter. We'll see two subs as Jessica King comes on for Maddie Stewart and Melanie Romig on for Caitlin Hughes. Still 9-5. The throw in comes from Kramer to Hendricks, swings it right back to Kramer. Down low to Leslie Spear, who's now in the game, and Spear could have turned around and put it in, but she lost track of the ball, and McPherson ends up with the steal. So another one going back the other way. Turnovers continue to be a problem for the Braves. Now that one too hard off the glass, missed by McPherson. They get their own rebound. Braves not flocking to the defensive rebound so far. That's allowed McPherson some extra opportunities. Now driving as Cammie Richardson kicks it out to Gonzalez. Now they'll continue swinging it around the wing. Battle wants to drive, now kicks it out. Now another drive, and Coe is fouled. They're going to say that's on the floor. Team foul number 2 on the Braves. The first one has been called for 4 so far, so the next one will put Ottawa in the bonus. Nice inbound play to get an open look, but that might have been partially blocked by Jenna Kramer. Now battling for the offensive rebound, and the Braves all backed off. 3 Braves thinking somebody else would grab that defensive rebound, and instead Cammie Richardson jumped in there and grabbed it and laid it in. The Braves need to hit those defensive boards a lot harder. And now Melanie Romig, like she dribbled it off her leg, but it falls into the hands of Kelsey Hendricks. Here's Jessica King, gets it over to Melanie Romig at the top of the key. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. And there's going to be a foul down low on Leslie Spears. She tries to get post position on Victoria Gonzalez. We're going to see Ashley Romig and Maddie Stewart back in. The seniors needed right now as the Braves look disorganized so far. 4.5 minutes in, they're down 11-5 to McPherson. A team that struggled to beat a winless York team just on Thursday. But they've come out playing very organized, very controlled basketball so far, and they do it again, working it down low to Emma Van Dossler, who gets the easy layup as the pass bypassed the defender down low. Maddie Stewart looking to drive. Goes up and draws contact. And they're going to say that she created the contact, so it's a charge against Maddie Stewart. And Bruce Tate wants a timeout to try and get things organized. The Braves struggling so far. We'll go ahead and take 30 seconds ourselves. They're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
We're back in McPherson. Braves just had a 30-second timeout to try and calm things down and get things reorganized. They're down 13-5 to a struggling McPherson team here in the early going, but still a whole lot of basketball to be played. Here's Cammie Richardson kicking it out to Emma Van Dossler, who traveled, shuffled her feet before the dribble. King inbound to Rashia Parker, who's in at point guard. Ashley Romig at the free throw line. Now kicks it out. Maddie Stewart fakes the three. Gets it back over to Romig. Parker looks to drive. Gets it down low to King, but that pass was too low. Taller players, you can't throw bounce passes to their shins. It's just asking for a turnover, and they're lucky that McPherson was the last to touch that before it went out of bounds. After you're going to bounce pass it to a post player taller, you have to make sure it bounces up near waist level. There's Ashley Romig drawing the foul as she goes up. She's got all 5 of the Braves' points so far, and she'll try and tack on 2 more. One of the team's best free throw shooters, but she's 1 of 3 so far today. In fact, she is the team's best free throw shooter at 84%. The first one is nothing but net. The Braves break that scoring drought. Get their 6th point of the game as the Bulldogs will sub Kami Richardson off and put R.J. Kuhn on the floor. I've noted that McPherson is dealing with some injury problems, and then the player is no longer on the team as Romig hits her second free throw to make it 13-7. Now they go to that full court pressure defense that we saw against St. Mary on Thursday. But McPherson is dealing with a depleted roster. The three-pointer from the right wing, air ball, but rebounded down low by McPherson. Now a miss, and Maddie Stewart in to grab that defensive board. I want to see more black jerseys flocking to that ball on misses. The Bulldogs have been able to grab entirely too many offensive boards. Here's Maddie Stewart over to King. King wants to drive. She traveled before she started. Coach Tate telling the Braves to move the ball around, not let it stick. And freshman Avery Lumen is going to check in for Rashaya Parker. They're going to pick the Bulldogs up at half court, but they immediately go to trap the point guard. So Ottawa using a little more defensive trickery to show McPherson some things maybe they haven't seen out of the Braves on tape. 13-7, a minute and a half to go in the first quarter. And Van Dossler at the top of the key, looking to pass it off. Here's R.J. Kuhn driving. Now tried to kick it back, and Ashley Romig in the passing lane. Got a hand on that, swatted it out of bounds. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to have to inbound and shoot it quickly. Now they're not going to be able to. Shot clock expires. Good defense by the Braves, forcing the turnover. Now to score some points. Only 7 so far in the quarter. Caitlin Hughes comes on for Melanie Romig. The lineup on the court right now, Maddie Stewart, Avery Lumen, Jenna Kramer, Ashley Romig, and Caitlin Hughes. Lumen, the point guard, to bring it up. Around the perimeter. Now they'll get it down low to Ashley Romig. Romig kicks it out to Maddie Stewart. Finds Lumen wide open for 3. Miss. Rebounded Gonzalez. McPherson will take it the other way. McPherson again moving right to left. Here's R.J. Kuhn swinging to the left wing to Brooke Reset. Continue to move it around the perimeter, looking for a chance to get it inside. Nothing opening up so far. Now Van Dossler has to take a contested 2, but she makes it. 15-7. Lumen setting up the offense. The Braves held to single digits so far here in the first quarter. Gets it over to Jenna Kramer on the left wing. Now Caitlin Hughes, entry pass into Ashley Romig. Finishes through what looks to be some contact, but gets it in. 15-9. Bruce Tate agrees with my assessment of the contact on the play. Blocked shot by Ashley Romig on the other end. The shot, the buzzer beater, no good off the back of the iron, and we're going to go into the second quarter with the Braves down 15-9 here in McPherson. We'll take a break and bring you quarter number 2. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
This is Ryan Disborough, your State Farm Insurance agent in Garnett, providing insurance and financial services, including retirement options, bank loans, life insurance, and annuities. Call and schedule your financial services consultation today at 785-448-1660.
People's Bank in Ottawa is proud to support our area sports teams. From People's Bank Field at Ottawa University to our Bucks for Buckets promotion and more, we believe our local sports programs are an investment in our future. Best of luck to all the teams from all of us at People's Bank. Member FDIC.
Since 1944, families of Franklin County have called Dingle & Son Mortuary and Crematory in their time of need. Why? Because of the peace of mind received knowing that Dingle & Son will take charge and exceed expectations. Visit dinglemortuary.com.
To protect your family and plan for your financial future, get to know your Modern Woodman agent.
Hello, I'm Dale Pearson, your Modern Woodman agent in Ottawa, Kansas. Call me today at 242-6566.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
And we are back in McPherson, where a surprising first quarter finds the Bulldogs on top 15-9. So we'll see if the Braves can be a little more effective on offense here in quarter number 2. The message during the break was move the ball, don't let it sting. McPherson doing a good job defensively so far. To stick with man-to-man defense, and Kaylee Williams, who sprained her ankle or injured her ankle in that first quarter, is back on the court. A missed three, rebounded offensively by Hendricks. Three by Stewart, did everything but go in, eventually rims out. So Kaylee Williams back into the game. Doesn't look like she's got a brace of any kind on that right ankle, so hopefully she just turned it and it'll be better now. Might have gotten a hand on a three-point attempt there by McPherson. Nothing but air, rebounded by Ashley Romig. Braves coming back the other way. Moving left to right is Maddie Stewart. Double team, drives the baseline, goes up, got bumped. No foul call. Now here's Jenna Kramer driving and almost got the shot to fall. She's going to go to the line for a pair. Maddie Stewart looked like she got a pretty hard body foul when she went up. Didn't get the call, but Kramer did. Kramer, a confident free throw shooter. Getting 80% this year, and she's got the first one. Looks like an entirely new group of players onto the court for McPherson. And it's actually their entire starting lineup. So they've only got 10 available, so they had 5 subs in, now 5 starters in. Jenna Kramer knocks down number 2, and it's a 4-point game. Less than a minute into the second quarter. Braves will stick with that trapping full court defense. McPherson does a good job of dribbling out of it. Now into their half-court set, working it around the outside. Here's a three-pointer by Cammie Richardson. Off to the left, rebounded by Jenna Kramer. Kramer gets it to Hendricks to bring it down the court. There's Kaylee Williams out on the wing. Thought about a three, then decides to long skip pass all the way to the other side of the court. Now, great job by Jenna Kramer finding Ashley Romig down low. She missed, grabbed her own rebound, and then drew the foul. So Romig will go to the free throw line again. Her third set of free throws already today. Christina Battle called for foul number 2 on the first side. Free throw number 1 is good. Braves to within 3. Climbing back into this one after the early deficit. Second shot, also good. Both of those nothing but net. It's 15-13. The Braves making a run here, and they're going to keep up the pressure defensively. Williams, Hendricks, and Kramer in the backcourt defending. Bulldogs doing a good job of passing it back and forth to break the press. Cammie Richardson thought about the three, then drives and kicks it back out. Danielle Holt bringing it around. Almost lost the ball there, then passed it off. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Cammie Richardson throws it in down low. It's going to be a foul in the post on Ashley Romig, as Brooke Zimmerman was posting her up. Romig using her hands a little too much to try and deny position. Foul number 1 on Romig, but it gives McPherson a brand new shot clock after that. Brooklyn Coe on the outside, sends it over to Battle, who's going to be fouled out of the perimeter as she starts her drive. A foul called on Hendricks. Foul number 1 on her. And no, that'll be foul number 2 on her. So she's going to come out in favor of Avery Lumen. Richardson to throw it in along the baseline. 7:52 to go here in the second quarter. Braves down 2. Richardson throws it into Battle. Battle looks to drive, now kicks it out. Bring it around the perimeter. Battle with the ball at the top of the key. She wants to get into the lane. She does. She's fouled hard by Ashley Romeg. She's going to go to the line for a pair. That's a quick second foul on Ashley Romeg, and now she'll have to exit the game. Leslie Spear ready to come on for her. 7:43 remaining in quarter number 2. Braves down 2. Battle at the free throw line. Makes the first. Just a 54% free throw shooter, and McPherson as a team hits just 62% from the stripe. Shot number 2. Up. Good. The shooting motion is fine. Not hard to say why she's a 54% free throw shooter. She knocked those 2 down confidently. Now McPherson goes to a full court press. The Braves have numbers if they can get the ball worked around, and they try, but Jenna Kramer not able to handle the pass. Now Lumen also almost gets the steal. The Braves, I don't think they realized that they had broken the press and they had 3-on-2, but they couldn't move the ball quickly enough to take advantage. 17-13, Bulldogs on top. And now, trapping defense almost forced a turnover. McPherson able to get it out. Now, Tammy Richardson got the board and then traveled with it, lost her balance. So the Braves forced a turnover, and they'll come back the other way. The Braves have still not led in this game. They're down by 4 right now. Lumen to bring it up. Look at Maddie Stewart over to Kaylee Williams. Neither of whom has scored so far after combining for 68 on Thursday. Here's Maddie Stewart. Came out to Lumen. Finds Kramer in the corner. Missed the 3. Rebounded by McPherson. And battled to take it back the other way. Braves yet to hit a 3 so far. There's a shot down low, missed by Brooke Zimmerman. And now that ball is knocked out of bounds by Avery Lumen, who dove for the defensive rebound. Tammy Richardson to inbound along the baseline. Finds the cutter, Danielle Holt, who missed the point-blank layup. Then Maddie Stewart is fouled as she went for the defensive board. Called on Danielle Holt for first. Both teams at 3 team fouls now in the quarter. Stewart inbound to Avery Lumen to bring it down the court. Leslie Spear at the top of the key. We'll find Kaylee Williams on the right side. Lumen wide open on the left. Thought about the 3, then passed it off to Maddie Stewart. She tries to get it down low to Leslie Spear. I don't think Spear was looking for the pass. It was knocked away by McPherson, and they steal it, going back the other direction. Braves still having trouble getting going on offense. Tammy Richardson, spot up 3, no good. Rebounded by Maddie Stewart. Good aggressive defensive rebound in there. They need more of that. Lumen to bring it up, and Jessica King is ready to check in. Most likely for Spear. Stewart on the drive, goes up. A lot of contact again, no foul still. She just loses the ball. Now McPherson driving the other way. Danielle Holt gets it to fall, and the Braves want to charge, but that's going to be a block called against Jenna Kramer. So Danielle Holt can go to the line and try and tack one more on. 19-13. And the referee is coming to the scorer's table and calling the foul on number 1 White, but the other referees have her set up to take a free throw. And now they'll talk to each other and decide that the foul was on Leslie Spear. Now 22 is just 2, so Jenna Kramer called for the foul, but at least one referee believed it was a charge. The free throw missed. She was on the line anyway. There's some confusion among the officials here. (19-13), 5.5 to go in the half. Lumen bringing it up for the Braves. Lumen driving, loses control of the ball, and now it's going to be a jump ball as she and Brooke Zimmerman battling for it underneath. Possession arrow pointing Ottawa's direction, so it's pointing McPherson's direction, so they'll get the ball. So effectively a turnover for the Braves as Lumen just got sped up and lost control of the ball there. 19-13, still a 6-point lead for McPherson. Bringing it around the perimeter. R.J. Kuhn into the game at the top of the key. Gets it over to Battle. Now Brooklyn Coe wants a 3. She's got it. And the Bulldogs make it a 9-point game. Williams looks to be a little ginger still on that right ankle. He passed it down low to King, who draws the foul. Then Zimmerman calls for the foul. 3 on her, so she's probably done for the half as Victoria Gonzalez, the freshman, comes on to replace her. Kramer inbound to Maddie Stewart. Got it. The Braves back on the board. Cut the lead to 7. Now a steal by Maddie Stewart. Didn't really have to do anything for it. McPherson trying to break the pressure. Just threw it right into her hands. Jenna Kramer to set up the offense. Uses a screen by Jessica King. Working to her right. Falls down and has it stolen. Now McPherson on the fast break. Contested layup. They're going to call a foul. It's going to go against King. And Van Dossler goes to the line. Van Dossler, a 76% free throw shooter, one of the better ones on the team. Knocks this one down, pushes it back to an 8-point game. 4:21 remaining on the clock here in the first half. Ashley Romig set to come in. As Van Dossler makes the second free throw, it's going to be King coming off. Romig has 2 fouls, so she'll need to avoid picking up number 3 here still in the first half. Here's Kaylee Williams. She's going to be bumped by Brooklyn Coe. That's a defensive foul that's going to send Kaylee Williams to the line. Foul number 1 on Coe, but the 5th on the Bulldogs. Kaylee Williams, who still doesn't look to be at 100% as she runs after hurting that ankle in the first quarter, but she'll go to the free throw line here. A 79% shooter at the stripe. She hits the first. King going to come right back in for Ashley Romig. So they wanted Romig in offensively, but defensively they don't want her picking up that 3rd foul, so they'll sub her right back off. Kaylee Williams knocks down free throw number 2. 4:20 to go in the first half, 7-point game. Braves playing full court pressure defense, but not getting close enough to the players to really affect them much. They need to get in tighter and really make them nervous. There's a 3-pointer by Kuhn. She misses, gets her own rebound. So another offensive board for McPherson. At the top of the key, over the left wing for another 3 by Kuhn. Missed everything. Maddie Stewart with the board. Flips it over to Caitlin Hughes. Works it down low to King. King double team. They'll kick it out to Hughes. Maddie Stewart looks to drive. They cut her off and double team her. Now pass intercepted by McPherson. It's Emma Van Dossler getting into the passing lane. And now Caitlin Hughes called for a reaching foul, trying to get the steal away from Brooklyn Coe. So Coe not in the process of shooting, but they're now in the bonus and still go to the line for a pair of free throws. 3:23 still to go in the first half. Coe a 64% free throw shooter. Not close on this one to the left. More miscommunication by the referees, calling that foul. It was called on Hughes, but they communicated to the scorer's table that it was on Kramer. So they come over and fix that. But a lot of communication problems for the black and white today. Substitution for the Bulldogs. And the 30-second timeout taken by McPherson will take one as well. It's 25-17, 3:23 to go in the first half here on KOFO.
At State Farm, our goal is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. This is State Farm Agent Keith King in Ottawa. Let me help you protect what's most important to you. Give my office a call at 785-242-9435 or stop by at 111 South Main Street in Ottawa.
Need to know if your child's game or practice has been canceled due to weather? Sign up now for Ottawa Recreation Commission's text alerts. Go to orcottawaks.org to sign up or for more information.
And we're back in McPherson after that 30-second timeout. The Braves still down by 8, have not been able to get that offense going. McPherson playing good defense, and then the Braves not making some questionable decisions offensively. Now here's Jenna Kramer on the fast break going up, draws the charge. McPherson's going to draw the charge as Kramer went up for the layup. That's going to be foul number 2 against Kramer. So not what the Braves needed. Another starter in some foul trouble. Hendricks is going to come in for Kramer, but she's got 2 fouls as well. McPherson breaks the press. Now here's Coe driving, blocked by Ashley Romig. Now a travel on Van Dossler as she got the loose ball and took an extra step trying to clear some room for the layup. Kramer comes off. Hendricks comes on for the Braves. 3:03 to go here in the first half. They need points. Scored 7 in the first quarter, 10 so far here in the second. Swinging it around now, down underneath to Romig. Goes up off the glass and in. Romig's been their best source of offense so far today. She's got 2 fouls, so they have to be careful, but she's been very effective in the post. 25-19, 6-point game, 2:40 to go in the first half. Quick ball movement by McPherson. They found the open player, but passed it behind her. Now she drives wildly into the lane. Off target, too hard off the glass. Romig on the board. So get it over to Hendricks. Coach calling in a play from the bench. Hendricks over to Melanie Romig on the left wing. Now she tries to find Kelsey Hendricks making a cut and passed it to where Hendricks had been about 2 steps ago, so it goes out of bounds. Another unforced turnover by OU. McPherson breaks the press again. Now working it around the perimeter. Cami Richardson looks to drive on the baseline and goes up and misses off the glass, fighting for an offensive board, but Kaylee Williams has it and rips it away. Almost got it stolen. Now she's looking to drive, goes up off the glass too hard, rebounded by McPherson. That's Kendall Kelly with the rebound. And now she's fouled. The reach on Kaylee Williams, her first foul, but it will lead to 2 free throws. Kelly's only taken 6 free throws this season. She's made 4 of them. First free throw is good. Lead back up to 7. Shot number 2 is in. So it's 27-19. McPherson keeping OU at arm's length throughout this entire first half. Braves break the full court pressure from the Bulldogs. Maddie Stewart hands it off to Kelsey Hendricks to get the offense set. Hendricks kicks it over to Melanie Romig on the right wing. Well, she'll find Maddie Stewart at the top of the key. They'll continue working it around the perimeter. Now they try to get it down low to Ashley Romig. That entry pass knocked away by McPherson, goes out of bounds. The Braves will have 7 seconds on the shot clock as they inbound. Hendricks to throw it in along the baseline. He finds Jenna Kramer, 5 seconds. Hendricks over to Ashley Romig. She's going to have to shoot. Gets it off in time, misses. Coming back the other way quickly, Cammie Richardson pushing the tempo, but pushing it a little too much as she overshoots her intended target, Emma Van Dossler. And that pass falls incomplete. Braves take it down the other way. 1 minute to go in the first half. Jenna Kramer over to Hendricks, to Kaylee Williams. Takes the three, now drives. Gets a hard bump. No foul called. They're letting a lot of contact go in the paint. Now a missed layup on the other side by McPherson. And to get over to Kaylee Williams. Drives, draws the contact, and one. They finally call a foul on a layup attempt. Might be the first time today, or I guess Kramer got it once. So it's 2 times that they've called that contact underneath against McPherson. Jessica King will come on for Ashley Romig. Melanie Romig comes on for Jenna Kramer. 43.1 on the clock. It's 27-21. Kaylee Williams can make this a 5-point game if she hits the free throw. Now Parker's going to come in for Hendricks, so they'll go to a sub-heavy lineup for the last 43 seconds of the half. Williams sets up, free throw is up and good. 5-point game. 43 seconds left. Now McPherson working around the backcourt, stolen by Kaylee Williams. She's knocked to the ground by Kelly, and that's going to be another foul there in the bonus. So 2 more free throws coming up for Kaylee Williams. She could make this a 1-possession game if she hits them both. Team looks much better with Kaylee Williams back in. The senior, a big part, especially offensively, of the Braves team. And that one rims out, so she misses the front end of the 2 shots. 34.5 seconds left on the clock. Bulldogs up by 5. Make it 4. Made free throw by Kaylee Williams. 27-23. McPherson able to get it over the half-court line. Now the Braves go to trap. They can't recover. McPherson has numbers. Almost stolen on the pass. Now Van Dossler goes to drive. She loses control. Kaylee Williams almost comes up with the steal, but McPherson able to corral it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball at the top of the key. Now a deep 3. No. Knocked around and now rebounded by the Braves, and I believe that's going to be an over-the-back call. Goes against the freshman Danielle Holt, number 2 on her. Now Jessica King to the line for a pair of free throws. A 56% shooter on the season. 8.3 on the clock. And the first one is short. Stays a 4-point game. Coming up on halftime here. Just about ready for the Advantage Electric halftime show. King's second free throw is also off target. She missed them both. 5 seconds to go. McPherson has time for one last shot. Holt gets into the lane. Too hard on the layup attempt. Misses. And that'll do it for the first half. So not the Braves' best half, but still able to stay right in there. They're only down by 4, 27-23. We'll take a break and be back with the Advantage Electric halftime show here on KOFO.
Whether you're building or remodeling, you want your project to be unique to you. Eric Crowley of Advantage Electric can help.
Something recently we've started is custom lighting. Making custom lights, I've noticed it's a new trend. Not everybody wants the big, box light fixtures that you can buy. Everybody's looking for something eclectic nowadays and new and a conversation piece.
Your ideas come to life.
Anything and everything that you could think of that you could possibly make a light fixture out of, we could certainly do it.
Advantage Electric, 229 North Main. Call 418-1218.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures. with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
This is Dr. Adam Maxwell of Maxwell Chiropractic, serving you with chiropractic and wellness care at 225 South Walnut in Ottawa. Call 785-893-8272 for an appointment. As a lifelong Ottawa resident, I'm proud to be a supporter of OU Braves athletics and wish the teams good luck this season.
This is Lou Baker at CarStar Ottawa. Our technicians are highly trained, ICAR certified repair experts. We provide continued education for our employees and the latest equipment to ensure the highest quality repairs. We work hard at staying your #1 collision repair shop. 1-800-CARSTAR. Relax, we'll take it from here.
It's the annual store-wide clearance sale at Messenger's Home Furnishings in South Ottawa. This is one of the biggest sales of the year and includes every category in the store. Reclining furniture, bedroom furniture, dining room furniture, youth furniture, sofas, chairs, end tables, and much, much more. Save on closeouts of Serta iComfort, iSeries, and Perfect Sleeper mattresses while they last. Long-term interest-free financing is being offered, or you can use our free layaway and pay it off with your upcoming tax refund. Messenger's Home Furnishings is located just west of Sterling Stockade on 23rd Street in South Ottawa.
And welcome to the Advantage Electric halftime show on KOFO. Whether you're building or remodeling, residential or commercial, get the electric advantage for your project. Advantage Electric, 229 North Main in Ottawa. Call 418-1218. So it's 27-23. The Braves find themselves down by 4 in what, quite frankly, was just a sloppy first half for both teams. If you look at the stat sheet, McPherson is on top despite shooting 9 of 34 from the floor, just 27%. But the key number there is that they were able to attempt 34 shots. The Braves only attempted 19, between giving up 10 offensive rebounds to McPherson and then the Braves turning it over 13 times in the first half. They gave McPherson 15 extra looks at the basket. So quite frankly, they're fortunate to be down by 4 and not 20 with those kind of numbers. But they are able to hold McPherson to 27% shooting, partly due to good defense and partly due to McPherson just being a team that struggles on offense. McPherson has attempted 12 threes, which is a little uncharacteristic, but characteristically, they've only hit 2 of them for 17%. So those numbers working in the Braves' favor, but you can't count on that for a second half. They're going to have to tighten things up, get more defensive rebounds, and really limit the turnovers. You can't cough it up 13 times per half and expect to win no matter who the opponent is, especially on the road in conference play. Ashley Romig, kind of the hero of the first half for the Braves, with 12 points, 3 boards, a blocked shot. Picked up 2 fouls, so she had to be used sparingly as the second quarter went on, or she probably could have done more damage down low. Kaylee Williams missed a lot of the first half with an ankle injury, but was able to score 6, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Romig also 4 of 5 from the free throw line. We'll take a quick break and then be back with more of the box scores so far. You're listening to the Advantage Electric halftime show here on KOFO.
This is Eric Crowley with Advantage Electric. On the court, teams look for any advantage they can get. When it comes to your electric needs, whether residential, commercial, or custom, we're your advantage. Advantage Electric, 229 North Main in Ottawa. Call today at 785-418-1218.
Eric Price and his staff at the Lamb Roberts Funeral Homes are proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast and honored to help so many families in the community with compassionate care when it's needed most. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
This is Dr. Weston Zinner at Franklin County Chiropractic in Ottawa. We hope you're enjoying the game and remind you that whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, we can help relieve your pain for a better performance. Call 785-242-9393 for an appointment.
This is Ryan Disborough, your State Farm insurance agent in Garnett, providing insurance and financial services, including retirement options, bank loans, life insurance, and annuities. Call and schedule your financial services consultation today at 785-448-1660.
Smart Ottawa shoppers know Costantino's Price Chopper has the best rewards program in town. Only Price Chopper lets you earn points on all your purchases. Visit mypricechopper.com and start saving on food or fuel today. Shop Costantino's, your local family-owned grocer since 1948.
When quality matters, choose the best. Choose Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling. Call today and make sure your heating and cooling system is ready for the season at 785-242-9273. Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, maintaining your comfort for over 30 years.
And we are back with more of the Advantage Electric halftime show coming to you from McPherson, where the Braves find themselves down 27-23 at the break. They've been down by as many as 9. They have not led yet in the game against a team that's only 3-5 in conference play, and coming off a game where they narrowly escaped with a win against a winless team in York. So not what they were looking for so far, but they've got the whole second half to try and turn things around. Again, 13 turnovers have been the biggest culprit for the Braves' offensive struggles, and really just not getting to take as many shots. Of course, hitting 6 of 19 from the field not helping either, but when you limit your opportunities by popping up 13 times, those struggles shooting are only going to be magnified. 3 turnovers for Jenna Kramer in that first half, 4 by Maddie Stewart. One of those for each player was an offensive foul, and 2 for Leslie Spear, and 1 apiece for Lumen, Romig, Hughes, and King. On a positive note, we got Maddie Stewart with 3 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists when things really started to get a little out of hand with McPherson's offensive rebounding. Stewart was really the one who stepped up and started getting a lot more physical with those defensive rebounds, really ripping them down. She's got 6 defensive boards, 1 offensive, for 7 rebounds on the day so far. So Stewart, even though she hasn't been able to contribute a whole lot offensively with just 3 points so far, 0 of 2 from outside, that rebounding is a big help, because, again, it was something that was hurting them quite a bit before she was able to really step things up. Most of the minutes have been played by the starters so far, as you would assume to see in a game where they've been losing for the entire half. Romig playing 13 minutes despite picking up her first and second fouls very early on in the second quarter. Kramer's played 16 minutes. Kaylee Williams went down with that ankle injury, missed most of the first quarter, still managed to play 11 minutes, as has Kelsey Hendricks, who sat much of the first half with foul trouble. She picked up her second back in the first quarter. It's important to note that Jenna Kramer is playing with 3 fouls, so you may see a little less of her in the early going here in the second half. But then Maddie Stewart is barely rested at all. She played 18.5 minutes, but only 1 of 5 from the floor, so hopefully she can get things going. We've seen how dangerous she and Kaylee Williams can both be on Thursdays. They really went off, both with career highs. We'll take another break and we'll be back with the final segment of the Advantage Electric halftime show. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
Whether you're building or remodeling, you want your project to be unique to you. Eric Crowley of Advantage Electric can help.
Something recently we've started is custom lighting, making custom lights. I've noticed it's a new trend. Not everybody wants the big, box light fixtures that you can buy. Everybody's looking for something eclectic nowadays and new and a conversation piece.
Your ideas come to life.
Anything and everything that you could think of that you could possibly make a light fixture out of, we could certainly do it.
Advantage Electric, 229 North Main. Call 418-1218.
Hi, I'm Dalton Evans. I'm 10 years old and happy to report that I've never had a cavity, thanks to brushing twice a day and 2 cleanings a year at Dr. Hale Family Dentistry.
Schedule your family's appointment today by calling 242-1800.
Safe, secure, strong. We're rock solid. Kansas State Bank. A better way to bank with community people you know. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Need to know if your child's game or practice has been canceled due to weather? Sign up now for Ottawa Recreation Commission's text alerts. Go to orcottawaks.org to sign up or for more information.
Kramer Pharmacy, downtown Ottawa, hopes you're enjoying this KOFO sports broadcast and wishes all the area teams good luck this season. Call Kramer Pharmacy today and ask about their convenient MedSync program that allows you to have all your prescriptions filled at the same time each month. Call 242-2055.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
And we're back with more of the Advantage Electric halftime show on KOFO. The Braves looking to turn things around in the second half as they find themselves down to a struggling McPherson team, 27-23, a team that's depleted somewhat by injuries, has not played especially well in KCAC play, and is playing almost exclusively freshmen and sophomores, but has been able to outplay the Braves by 4 points so far. But the Braves, we know, have a more experienced and really, based on results so far, a more talented team and should be able to take this one over in the second half if they can focus and come up with a strategy to adapt to what McPherson has been doing defensively. And really, a lot of it is just focus. The 13 turnovers haven't necessarily been due to anything McPherson's been doing, even though the Bulldogs do have 8 steals. A lot of it has just been careless play on the part of the Braves. So really just tightening things up offensively would accomplish a whole lot for OU. It's not necessarily a situation where McPherson is doing anything that just has them scrambled. It's more of just a case of maybe not being as ready for this particular game as they needed to be. But halftime is a good time to regroup and take care of any issues like that. So again, only down 4. It's far from an insurmountable deficit. They've come back from down far more than that. In fact, they've been down by as many as 9 in this game. So we'll come back with the second half and hopefully see a revitalized Braves team. You've been listening to the Advantage Electric halftime show here on KOFO.
This is Eric Crowley with Advantage Electric. On the court, teams look for any advantage they can get. When it comes to your electric needs, whether residential, commercial, or custom, we're your advantage. Advantage Electric, 229 North Main in Ottawa. Call today at 785-418-1218.
Quality Structures Incorporated in Richmond is proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast. They know experience matters on the court and when it comes to your building needs. Visit qualitystructures.com and let them put their years of experience in constructing post-frame buildings to work for you.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
When it's time to pop the question, or if the answer has already been yes, then it's time to visit Sutton's Jewelry. Why not pull out all the stops for your special day with a style that will take her breath away? From the latest sparkle to artistic magic, Sutton's Jewelry stays on top of the latest trending jewelry designs. Sutton's in-house talented bench jeweler, Phil Sutton, can size any selection, and in-house repairs are always a quick turnaround. Sutton's Jewelry, 207 South Main, downtown Ottawa.
Anyone can call themselves a construction company, slap a sign on the side of their truck, and drive around town looking for work. Is that who you want to hire? No, you're smarter than that. Wise Guys Construction at 108 North Main in Ottawa has been in business for 13 years, building new residential homes, adding additions and finishing basements, solving commercial structure needs for businesses, and repairing damage left behind from fire or water. When it comes to who you hire for residential and commercial construction needs, be wise. Call Wise Guys Construction at 785-229-5651.
We're back in McPherson and just underway in the second half. Starting lineups on the court for both teams, despite Jenna Kramer having 3 fouls in her name. Braves working it around the perimeter. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Haley Williams pass deflected and stolen. McPherson moving left to right, bringing it down. And it's Brooklyn Coast bringing it over to Christina Battle, who gets it to their leading scorer, Cammie Richardson, who has 7 points so far today. Get it back over to Battle. Now back into the hands of Richardson. Still at the top of the key. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. She wants to get it down low, and she finds Danielle Holt, who missed the layup, and they're probably fortunate she did. It was largely uncontested. Braves break the full court pressure. Kramer kicks it out to Hendricks, over to Maddie Stewart. Fakes the three. Moves into the lane, then kicks it out to Kramer. They continue working around. Ashley Romig almost has it stolen. Almost has it stolen again. Here's Kramer for three. Got it. The Braves' first three of the game. They're to within 1 point. They haven't led yet today. A stop and a basket gives them their first lead. Staying with a 2-3 zone look in the half-court defense. McPherson works it over to Battle out on the right wing. Cammie Richardson is an open three at the top of the key. Missed. It's another offensive rebound by McPherson. That one tracked down by Coe. Richardson over to Battle for an open three. Missed. Another offensive rebound by the Bulldogs. Richardson gets into the lane, has her shot blocked. They're going to call a foul on Kelsey Hendricks. That's number 3 on her. Jessica King ready to check in, likely for Hendricks. As McPherson makes the free throw, Hendricks come off. The 6-foot Jessica King comes on, so that puts a substantially taller lineup into the game for OU. Second free throw by Richardson. Rolls in. Bulldogs push the lead back to 3. Still a one-possession game, though. It's an improvement over the first half. King helps Williams, breaks his press, and here's Maddie Stewart backing it out. Looks like she wanted to go to the basket, but too much pressure. Now King draws the foul, misses the free throw, but she'll go to the line for a pair of free throws. I may have said missed the free throw there. She missed the layup, but they'll actually say that the foul was on the floor as Maddie Stewart misses the three. Rebound corralled by Danielle Holt. Battle out on the perimeter, double team. Now swings it over to Richardson, back to Battle. Now they're going to look to the corner. They want to get it down low to Danielle Holt, but she's being sealed off by Ashley Romig. So around the perimeter goes. Now they get it inside to Brooke Zimmerman, who lays it up, and just swiping at the ball was Ashley Romig, and she's going to be called for the foul. So that makes it a 5-point lead, and Zimmerman could make it 6. Zimmerman misses a free throw, rebounded by King. Kramer to set up the offense. Gets it over to Kaylee Williams on the left wing. Holding the ball. Now she spots up for three. Misses off the backboard. Knifes in, gets her own rebound. Goes up, off the glass. Still a miss. Rebounded by McPherson. Cammie Richardson almost got it stolen. Now she'll get it over to Kelly on the right wing. Richardson back up at the top of the key, trying to direct traffic. Now she'll get it down low. They kick it out to Kelly for a long three. Off the back of the iron, rebounded by Kramer. Now Kaylee Williams gets it up to King, who has her layup attempt blocked by Cammie Richardson. Now McPherson trying to go with a fast break the other way. Stewart strips the ball, and now Romig's going to get called for a 4th foul. No, they'll say she stepped out of bounds. Leslie Spears is going to come on for Romig. Got nervous there for a second when the referee blew the whistle. Romig picking up a fourth foul would have been a bad situation. She will go to the bench with 3, though. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Braves still haven't led. They're down by 5. Williams drives the baseline, swings it out to Maddie Stewart, and she is fouled as she drives. That goes against, I believe, Brooks Zimmerman. And it is Zimmerman. And that's number 4 on her. So the 6-foot sophomore is going to have to come out of the game for the 5'11 freshman, Victoria Gonzalez. 2 team fouls on McPherson. The inbound to Maddie Stewart, almost stolen by McPherson. It's Danielle Holt diving in there, knocking the ball away and almost grabbing it. And we'll see another inbound. And she looks to Kaylee Williams, open for 3 in the corner, rims out. Fight for the rebound and goes out of bounds. Spear was battling for that offensive board but couldn't quite haul it in, and it goes out of bounds. 6:07 left in the third quarter, still a 5-point game. Still a 2-3 zone for the Braves. Kelly out on the left wing. Over to Holt. There's Brooklyn Coe, and now they work it to Victoria Gonzalez to a wide open Kelly. Passes up to 3, gets in, pulls up for a jumper, misses everything, goes out of bounds. Braves ball. The Braves still frustrated on offense. Playing pretty good defense, but not able to get a lead yet. They've been as close as 1. Kaylee Williams fouled along the perimeter by Danielle Holt, who bodied her up as she tried to move around the 3-point line. That's number 3 on Holt. Maddie Stewart to throw it in as you have a substitution. Holt comes off and Emma Van Dossler comes on. So they take a 6-footer off and put a 5'8 guard in, so they lose a little height. Leslie Spear and Jessica King at 5'11 and 6 feet on the court for OU. We'll see if they can use that to their advantage. Stewart on the left wing. Passes it off to Kaylee Williams. And Williams looking for someone to pass it to. Gets it to Stewart. Looked at the open 3, then passes to Kramer. In and out. Really having a tough time from 3-point range tonight. Cammie Richardson bringing it down again. And here's Brooklyn Coe for 3, missed. And Stewart knocked the rebound away from her own player inadvertently, but was able to track it down. And here's Kaylee Williams on the run. Still looking a step slow after that ankle injury on in the first quarter. King tries a pass to Spear, has it knocked away, but Braves fortunately are able to track it back down. Kramer is going to reset the offense with 10 seconds on the clock. Uses the screen, moving to her right, drives into the lane. A lot of contact again, no foul call. And nice job of Kaylee Williams getting into the passing lane. Can't quite come up with the steal. Richardson going to pull up with the jumper, gets it to go. The Bulldogs are back up by 7. Kaylee Williams bringing it quickly back down the other way. Now pulls up for 3, got it. So Kaylee Williams, not really within the flow of the offense, but able to knock down the 3 from the top of the corner. And Coach Tate wants a timeout. We'll take 30 seconds. Braves down by 4 to go in the third. You're listening to KOFO.
Ransom Memorial Hospital Cancer Care, your cancer-fighting team, is open and accepting patients. For a personalized care experience, call 785-229-8203. Online at ransom.org or at 1301 South Main Street, Ottawa. RMH Cancer Care, close to home, close to your heart.
Since 1944, families of Franklin County have called Dingle & Son Mortuary and Crematory in their time of need. Why? Because of the peace of mind received knowing that Dingle & Son will take charge and exceed expectations. Visit dinglemortuary.com.
Sports, information, and entertainment in East Central Kansas. KOFO K279CS Ottawa, where keeping you informed comes first.
We're back. McPherson with the ball. Braves trapping in the corner. That's going to be a push called against OU. Maddie Stewart called for the foul. That's going to be number 2 on her. Kaylee Williams came out during that break. Caitlin Hughes is in. Williams hit the 3 right before the timeout to pull to within 4. Here's Cami Richardson driving up off the glass too hard, rebounded by Maddie Stewart. Looked like a lot of contact as they tried to rip that rebound away from her. Jenna Kramer setting up the offense. 3.5 minutes to go in the third. There's Maddie Stewart on the drive. Goes up off the glass. Too short. King with the offensive board. No, Maddie Stewart gets the offensive rebound and has it taken from her. That was Brooke Reset with the quick hands for McPherson, grabbing that ball out of Stewart's hands. But now Kramer almost got the steal. Now Gonzalez with a 3. Nothing but air, and it's going to go back the other way for the Braves. Ashley Romig ready to check in. She'll come in for Spear. Romig has been the Braves' best source of offense so far. We'll see if they can get it to her down low. McPherson with a smaller lineup in. She's being defended by a freshman. So it could be an opportunity for OU. They'll get it to Romig at the top of the key. She swings out to Hughes. Trying to get it down low to King, but sealed off. Here's Kramer for 3, missed, and rebound tracked down by the Bulldogs, Emma Van Dossler. And now McPherson wants a timeout. We'll go ahead and take 30 and be back with more Braves basketball. They're down by 4. You're listening to KOFO Sports.
Community journalism is thriving at the Ottawa Herald. 3 days a week in print and every day online, the Herald's award-winning staff covers the news that matters to you. Breaking news, sports, events, and so much more. Just as the Herald has done for more than 140 years. Call 242-4700 to subscribe today, or find us online at www.ottawaherald.com, on Facebook, or download our app.
And we are back after the 30-second timeout. It's McPherson 33, OU 29. As the sloppy play for both teams continues here into the second half. McPherson working around the perimeter. Each team has only scored 6 so far in this whole quarter, and we're almost 8 minutes in. And now McPherson gets to the basket and lays it in, so they have 8. 6-point game once again. Parker on the wing. Comes over to Melanie Romig, who's now in the game. Back over to Parker. Stewart swings it to Hughes now. Hughes, that looks like a foul, and they will call it. Emma Van Dossler reaching in, going for the steal. Reached across Hughes' body. That's going to be team foul number 4 on McPherson. So one more puts the Braves at the line in the bonus. Still a 6-point game as Hughes and Spear come out. Kaylee Williams comes in, as does Ashley Romig, the 2 seniors for the Braves. So the 3 big senior contributors, Williams, Stewart, and Romig, all on the court now for OU. Shia Parker in at point guard, gets the inbound. She'll kick it out to Melanie Romig, swings to Maddie Stewart for 3. Off target, and rebounded by McPherson. The 3-point shot just not working for OU today. More 2-3 zone for the Braves. Tammy Richardson gets the pass over to Van Dossler. Back to Richardson, swinging it to the left now. They'll get it down low. And finishing through a little contact was Brooklyn Coe. No foul called, but it extends the lead to 8 for McPherson. And Ottawa has just been stymied offensively this entire game. Haley Williams takes the 3, now drives, goes up, draws the contact, and she'll go to the line for 2. 1 minute exactly left in the third quarter. Spears going to come on probably for Romig. Jenna Kramer also prepared to come in. First free throw rolls in. 7-point game. Parker and Romig come off for Kramer and Spear. Free throw number 2 for Kaylee Williams is out, but knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Van Dossler. Spear did a good job of challenging for the offensive rebound there. Now another substitution. Spear comes right back out. Romig comes in. They're clearly just wanting Romig in there on offense right now as she has the 3 fouls. Save her for the fourth quarter down the stretch. Hendricks to inbound. Gets it out to Kaylee Williams at the top of the key. Williams swings it over to Kramer. Finds Maddie Stewart. Kramer inside to Ashley Romig. Goes up. A lot of contact there. She'll go to the line for 2. Victoria Gonzalez now has 4, so 2 of McPherson's tallest post players, Danielle Holt and Victoria Gonzalez, have 4 fouls apiece as Ashley Romig knocks down the first free throw. Holt comes back in, but again, she's at 4 fouls too. The Braves can start fouling them out. That'll help as McPherson playing with a depleted roster already. Second free throw is good, and that pushes it to a 5-point game. Ashley Romig comes back off for Leslie Spear. 2-3 zone for Ottawa. They'll back off and allow McPherson to get into the half-court set. Right wing, back up to Cammie Richardson, who's been running the offense. Now Holt runs into some trouble at the free throw line. Swinging it around the perimeter. Richardson again wants to drive, and she runs hard into Leslie Spear, and she's going to be called for the charge. Put that shoulder down and ran right into her. 3 fouls now on Cammie Richardson. If they can get her to a 4th, that would help a lot as well. So the short bench for McPherson having an effect, as Richardson's going to come out now in favor of R.J. Kuhn. 5-point game, and the Braves with the ball. They could make it a 1-possession game here. They still have not yet led today. Hendricks bringing it down. There's no shot clock, so they can hold for the final shot of the third quarter if they want. Hands it off to Kaylee Williams. Williams gets it over to Hendricks for an open 3 from the corner. Short. Oh, Maddie Stewart fought for that offensive rebound, but it goes off her fingertips and out of bounds. Parker and Spear come on for Romig and Hendricks. 8.8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Still a 5-point game. Bulldogs up 37-32. Kuhn comes out, and number 3, Christina Battle, comes in for McPherson. Battle with the ball. 6 seconds. Sends it over to Van Dossler. She's in some trouble. Gets it back over to Battle. She's going to have to throw up a shot, and she passes instead. They don't have time to shoot. And we're going to go into the fourth quarter with the Bulldogs up 37-32. The Braves have one more quarter to try and get things straightened out and avoid a bad loss on the road. 37-32, you're listening to KOFO Sports.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend, Tree.
Tree here, just calling to say thanks for letting me crash at your place the other night. Well, on your place. It was a rough night. I had a bit too much wind, and I think I might have broke your chimney, actually. So, yeah. Any chance you'd want to drop off my tire swing? Yeah. I mean, if not, that's cool. Okay, later.
Trees won't pay for tree damage. Luckily, one call to the Geico Insurance Agency makes it easy to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
And welcome back to McPherson. We have 1 quarter left. The Braves have not led yet today. They're down 5 right now, 37-32 on the road. Playing a Bulldogs team that hasn't beaten a team in KCAC play yet with better than a 5-4 record. Their other 3 wins have all been against the bottom of the conference. So a team that the Braves, sitting at 4th in the conference and having competed with the best that KCAC has to offer, really should not be losing to. drive on the baseline. Now over to Holt. She's going to kick it out to Battle for three. Missed. Rebounded by Ashley Romig. Hendricks pushes it up to Kramer. They swing it to Romig, back over to Hendricks. She finds Kaylee Williams for three. Off target. Rebounded by Holt. Battle's going to bring it down for McPherson. Swings it over to Van Dossler. Still a 2-3 zone for OU. Battle swings it over to Reset. Now Van Dossler with the ball. She looked to be spotting up for three, then passes it off. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They'll get it over to Battle. 3 seconds left. Puts up a floater and gets it from the side. Bulldogs push the lead back to 7. So they use the entire shot clock and get points. It's worst case scenario for OU. Maddie Stewart goes up, misses point blank range, and not a lot of offensive rebounding effort there. Is McPherson able to just walk up and grab it. Now open layup on the other side by Brooklyn Coe, and it's a 9-point game. This one rapidly slipping away from OU. Maddie Stewart into the lane. Now passed it out to Kaylee Williams. Almost lost it. Stewart from the perimeter. Now works it in. Backs it out. Sends it to the top of the key. Kramer travels. Another turnover for OU. 7:56 to go on the clock. It's a 9-point game. 41-32. McPherson leads. Battle to bring it down for the Bulldogs. Holt trapped at the top of the key, but she's able to get it away to Van Dossler. Now we're set, bringing it around the corner, gets it over to Coe. They work in at the left corner. There's a three, off target, rebounded by Maddie Stewart. We'll get it over to Hendricks. Now Kaylee Williams looks to drive, goes up, fouled. Might have been before the shot. No, they'll give her 2 free throws. 7:27 remaining in the game. Williams steps up to the free throw stripe. Knocks it down. Still an 8-point game. The Braves have work to do. And McPherson plays at such a slow pace that it makes it even harder to start a comeback. Second free throw is in. 7-point game. You can pretty much count on McPherson to use a good 20 to 25 seconds of the shot clock, if not more, every single time. So fewer possessions means fewer chances to cut into this lead for OU. Now here's a wild layup attempt, missed, but Holt gets the rebound. Offensive rebound still hurting the Braves. Work it into the corner. Van Dossler swings it back over to Coe. Now Battle looking to drive, goes up, has it rejected, blocked by Jenna Kramer. 14 seconds still on the shot clock as Gonzalez checks in for Holt. They both have 4 fouls. And it's going to be Reset throwing it in. Inbound goes to, well, she doesn't have anyone to throw it to. Finally works it to Gonzalez. She's going to get it back out to Battle. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Reset working the ball around. Gets it out to Battle for a long 2. Off target. Rebounded by Kaylee Williams. She's fouled. Foul on Coe. Just number 2 on her, so no foul trouble there. And McPherson will back off and move to a half-court defense. They look to be in a 2-3 zone now as well. And here's Ashley Romig underneath off the glass, misses. And the battle for the loose ball, McPherson comes up with it. Now the drive by Battle. She picks up her dribble, and that's going to be a foul on Kaylee Williams, reaching in to try and get the steal. 6:17 to go in the game. Braves still with a 7-point deficit. Pass into Gonzalez. Then over to Van Dossler. Battle at the top of the key. Wants to drive. Goes up. Misses everything. Jenna Kramer with the rebound. Quick pass out to Kaylee Williams. Williams wants to drive. She goes all the way up, off the glass, and in. Great take by Kaylee Williams. Brings the Braves back to within 5. Battle brings it across half court. Still a 2-3 zone for the Braves, but they'll trap when the Bulldogs get it into the corners. Now at the top of the key, it's Gonzalez swinging it over to the left side. Coe driving, kicks it out for an open 3, way off to the left, rebounded by Kramer. Kramer had Kaylee Williams with a quick outlet pass there, but I don't think she saw her. Hendricks with the ball. Braves down 5, trying to battle back. 5.5 minutes to go in the game. Maddie Stewart gets it in wide open underneath as Ashley Romig off the glass and in. It's a 3-point game. 5:15 to go. Braves have scored the game's last 5 points. McPherson wants a timeout. And it's going to be a full timeout. We'll just go ahead and take a full break ourselves. 5:10 left. The Braves down only 3. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
Hey, Michelle, what did Jamie's teachers have to say at PTA tonight?
Great, except for math. Jamie's math teacher says that she spaces out during class and that she failed her last algebra exam. That's a big problem.
We went through the same thing with Kevin. But thanks to Math Made Easy, he's made a complete turnaround.
I've heard about Math Made Easy. How does it work?
They've got these terrific video reviews in all levels of math with dynamic teachers who engage students with easy-to-follow explanations. With Math Made Easy, students control the pace of their learning. Math Made Easy even comes with a 30-day risk-free trial.
Wow, I have nothing to lose.
Right. Math Made Easy is a proven tool that will boost Jamie's grades and her confidence. It's an affordable alternative to pricey tutoring. Here, let me text the number to you. It's 1-800-USA-MATH, or you can visit mathmadeeasy.com.
Math Made Easy.
1-800-USA-MATH. 1-800-872-6284.
And we're back at McPherson. 5:10 left on the clock. The Braves down only 3. They've been down by as many as 9 and as few as 1, but have never led in this game. They're on a run right now, though. Still sticking with that trapping 2-3 zone. Gonzalez with the ball in the corner. Tries to get it down low to Coe. Goes up, and there's a lot of contact. That's going to be a charge on... That's on Brooklyn Coe. She knocked Ashley Romig backward to the floor. Trying to back her down. You can't use your shoulder. That's what she did. And earned the charge. Less than 5 to go. The Braves down 3 with the ball. Hendricks uses the screen. Goes to her right. She get over to Stewart. Back to Hendricks. Just working around the perimeter right now, and now they'll get it down low to Ashley Romig, but she's double-teamed, which frees up Kelsey Hendricks for an easy layup. The Braves are only down 1. 4.5 minutes to go now. Cammie Richardson back into the game for McPherson. The run for the Braves started when she came off the court. She's been a key cog in the machine for McPherson so far. Working around the perimeter. Cammie Richardson now kicks it back out. Battle wants to drive. Now kicks it out to Holt in the corner. No time on the shot clock. She missed. But the McPherson once again with an offensive rebound. That's been a struggle for the Braves today is defensive rebounds, and it hurt them again right there. Another 3 attempts by Richardson. She hits this one. So every time the Braves get it down to 1 possession, it seems like McPherson finally gets an answer. 4-point game, 3:38 to go. Stewart to King at the top of the key, gets to the elbow, then swings it back out. Hendricks tried the pass across the court, and it was tipped and knocked away and stolen. McPherson with the ball and a 4-point lead, and they're going to look to take up as much shot clock as they can on every possession. Gonzalez, pass knocked away by Caitlin Hughes. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Haley Williams and Jenna Kramer are going to come in for Caitlin Hughes and Jessica King. Now Kendall Kelly also going to check in for McPherson. Kelly gets it over to Richardson for another three, rims out, but an offensive board, and then Kramer goes for the block, and she's called for a foul. That's foul number 3 on Kramer, and it puts Brooklyn Coe on the line. A 64% free throw shooter on the season. Misses the first, off to the left. Kelly checks out, and Danielle Holt comes back in, playing with 4 fouls. She and Gonzalez are both in. 5'11" and 6 feet tall, but both with 4 fouls. Second free throw is good. It's a 5-point game again. 2:52 remaining on the clock. Kelsey Hendricks brings it down past the half-court line. State calling the play in from the bench. Hendricks gets it over to Maddie Stewart, wants to drive. Goes up, fouled. That might be on Gonzalez. That'd be her 5th. No, they're going to call it on Brooklyn Coe. That's her 4th. But Maddie Stewart will go to the line. She can make this a 3-point game again if she hits them both. Stewart, a 79% free throw shooter, sinks number 1. Kelly's going to re-enter the game, and Danielle Holt comes off for the Bulldogs. Stewart sinks her second. It's a 3-point game again. Braves just can't quite seem to get over the hump, though. Cammie Richardson at the top of the key swings over to Kelly on the left, back to Richardson. So working inside to Coe. Coe has to kick it back out under a lot of pressure. Almost stolen there, but pass gets to Cammie Richardson. Now she'll swing it over to Battle. Now she finds Gonzalez, knocked away, but right into the hands of Coe. Has her shot blocked by Ashley Romig. 3-point game with 2 minutes to go. Kelsey Hendricks brings it down, crosses half court, swings it over to Jenna Kramer on the right side. She wants to drive the baseline, goes up. A lot of contact and no foul. Knocked to the ground and no foul called. And we're down to a minute 45, a 3-pointer by Kelly early in the shot clock. An ill-advised shot misses. Maddie Stewart getting mugged underneath after getting that defensive rebound. The referee's not interested in calling any fouls, and Kaylee Williams walks, pulling up for a 3 with no rebounding help underneath. Trying to tie it up early in the shot clock. Just an unnecessary shot. And Brewer State wants a timeout. We'll take 30 seconds. Braves down by 3. It's crunch time with a minute and a half to go. You're listening to KOFO Sports.
ADT presents what to consider when considering home security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
And we're back in McPherson. The Braves have 1 minute and 37 seconds left to try and overcome the 3-point deficit. Doesn't sound like much, but 3 points have been hard to come by for the Braves. For both teams, really. Just a rough game from an offensive standpoint for both teams. But the Bulldogs have been on top literally the entire time since 10 seconds in. Richardson swings it over to Battle on the left wing. Holt on the right wing. Now they're just swinging it back left and right. They're not going to try and take a shot until at least under 10 on the shot clock. Now they work it into Gonzalez. She goes up from point-blank range and gets it in. 5-point game, and 5 points it's taken the Braves 5 minutes to score 5 points for most of this match, so they're going to need to score quickly here. Skip pass over to Hendricks, finds Maddie Stewart. They're using too much clock. Jenna Kramer Over to Kaylee Williams. She wants to drive the baseline into the lane. Nice move off the glass, miss, and battle for the rebound, but McPherson comes up with it. And now the Braves might end up being forced to foul. Here's Coe up off the glass and in. It's a 7-point game with 39 seconds left. We'll take another 30-second timeout, but it looks like it's over for OU. You're listening to OU basketball on KOFO.
Have a big fitness goal for 2017? These well-chosen deals are just for you. This week at Target, C9 Champion Apparel is buy one, get one 50% off. Plus, save $10 on your Ignite by Spry or C9 Champion fitness equipment purchase of $40 or more. Just see your local store or Target.com to get the coupon and find great deals on fitness equipment in stores and online. Restrictions may apply.
And we are back in McPherson with 35 seconds left on the clock. And the Bulldogs just keep coming up with baskets when it's crunch time, and the Braves have never been able to get the lead. They pulled within 1 point a couple of times during the fourth quarter, but now the Bulldogs have extended it out to a 7-point game. And the way this has gone and the way that the Bulldogs play, just at a turtle's pace out there. And I don't say that mockingly. It can be very effective. There are a lot of major teams in college basketball, Wisconsin, Wichita State among them, that are very effective in playing just at a snail's pace and limiting possessions, and it can be very effective, and that's exactly what McPherson has done today, and it probably earned them their 5th victory in KCAC play. And now a travel after a steal by Danielle Holt. She reached out and grabbed the ball but fell to the ground, and the Braves probably got lucky they didn't turn it over there. They need a basket quickly. Williams swings it into Ashley Romig underneath, off the glass, rims out, and now Romig fouls Gonzalez, who's got the rebound. 30.7 seconds left, and McPherson not yet in the bonus, so they'll have to inbound it. The Braves will need to apply a lot of pressure on this inbound and try and force a steal. We'll see another 30-second timeout, so we'll be back in 30 seconds with the last 30 seconds of the game on KOFO.
Have a big fitness goal for 2017? These well-chosen deals are just for you. This week at Target, C9 Champion Apparel is buy one, get one 50% off. Plus, save $10 on your Ignite by Spry or C9 Champion fitness equipment purchase of $40 or more. Just see your local store or Target.com to get the coupon and find great deals on fitness equipment in stores and online. Restrictions may apply.
We're back in McPherson. The Bulldogs will inbound. The Braves are going to have to foul if they can't get the steal on the inbound itself. Inbounded from the sideline, and they're able to get it in. Hendricks fouls. 27.7 left on the clock, and that'll send Brooklyn Coe to the free throw line, where she's missed a couple today. Well, no, excuse me, they're still not in the bonus. There's one more to go, so there'll be another throw in now. Again, on the sideline for McPherson. They'll work it in and draw a foul from, might have been Kaylee Williams called for that one. It is. And now Brooklyn Coe will go to the free throw line for two. .3 left on the clock. The Bulldogs up 49-42, make it 50. And the Braves running out of opportunities. It has not been an efficient day from an offensive standpoint for the Braves. Between the turnover and the lack of defensive rebounding, it's been enough to hand the Bulldogs this game as they push it to a 9-point game. Maddie Stewart goes up for three, in and out. 18 seconds left. They will foul, but at this point, the Bulldogs are going to be able to push it to double digits with a made free throw. 18.8 seconds left. First free throw by Cami Richardson is no good. Free throw number 2 upcoming. Up and in. So it's a 10-point lead, the biggest of the game for the Bulldogs. They're going to improve to 5-5 in this conference. And the Braves are going to drop to 6-4 as a travel called against Kaylee Williams. 15 seconds to go. And McPherson calls a timeout, I'm assuming just a substitute. We'll take a quick 30 seconds and then be back in McPherson. Braves down 10. Well, actually, I take it back. They're going to put the players right back out onto the court. So we'll keep it right here. They were charged a full timeout, but didn't want to take the whole time. 14.8 left on the clock. There's the throw-in, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Braves. 13.5 seconds left. Throw in to Holt. She's trapped. Now she'll make a move to the basket. A lot of contact there between her and Ashley Romig. And I guess she stepped on the line. They'll call it out of bounds. King is going to come on for Romig with 9.5 seconds to play. Braves down 10. So a frustrating loss, but playing on the road is tough no matter who you're playing. And even this struggling McPherson team, we said in the pregame, is dangerous and can't be overlooked. And they proved that today. They did exactly what I said they would probably try and do in the pregame, and that's slow the game down and just make it a sloppy grind of an affair. And that's not the way the Braves prefer to play, and it hasn't suited them today, and they end up with a 10-point loss. They'll have to regroup. They'll be back with another game on Thursday. They lose this one 52-42 to the McPherson Bulldogs. We'll take a break and then be back with the recap. You're listening to Braves basketball on KOFO.
You can just about hear that cold Kansas winter wind blowing, and you're going to want to make sure your heater is working this winter. The best way to do that is call the pros at Adamson Brothers at 785-242-9273. Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, maintaining your comfort for over 30 years.
People's Bank in Ottawa is proud to support our area sports teams. From People's Bank Field at Ottawa University to our Bucks for Buckets promotion and more, we believe our local sports programs are an investment in our future. Best of luck to all the teams from all of us at People's Bank, member FDIC. Eric Price and his staff at the Lamb Roberts Funeral Homes are proud to sponsor this KOFO sports broadcast and honored to help so many families in the community with compassionate care when it's needed most. Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, Ottawa, Baldwin City, and Overbrook.
This is Dr. Weston Zinner at Franklin County Chiropractic in Ottawa. We hope you're enjoying the game and remind you that whether you're an athlete or a weekend warrior, we can help relieve your pain for a better performance. Call 785-242-9393 for an appointment.
Confidence, passion, skill, knowledge. At Ottawa University, I've gained the strength to discover who I am and the confidence to be myself. I've met people from around the globe from different backgrounds and cultures, with opportunities to get involved and bring our passions to life with more than 30 clubs and organizations. We all come together into a faith-inspired community that quickly becomes family. I invite you to be brave like me at Ottawa University. Find out more at ottawa.edu today.
At State Farm, our goal is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. This is State Farm Agent Keith King in Ottawa. Let me help you protect what's most important to you. Give my office a call at 785-242-9435 or stop by at 111 South Main Street in Ottawa.
Kramer Pharmacy, downtown Ottawa, hopes you're enjoying this KOFO sports broadcast and wishes all the area teams good luck this season. Call Kramer Pharmacy today and ask about their convenient MedSync program that allows you to have all your prescriptions filled at the same time each month. Call 242-2055.
We're back in McPherson, where the Braves have dropped to 6-4 in KCAC play after sort of a slog of a game, a slow-paced defensive battle where neither team shot very well. The Braves 32% from the floor, McPherson 27% from the floor. but just not enough when they turn it over 21 times and give up 16 offensive rebounds. Holding McPherson down to the lower shooting percentage was not enough to overcome the obstacles they created for themselves. And then part of the offensive struggle is just one of those things. Maddie Stewart 0 for 5 from three-point range. Your leading scorer coming off a 33-point game. She was held to just 4 today. 1 for 10 from the floor. Had a number of shots that just looked good and then just rolled out of the rim, and sometimes that happens. Jenna Kramer went 1 of 8, had 5 points and 5 turnovers. Maddie Stewart 4 points and 5 turnovers. Ashley Romig, probably the player of the game, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocked shots, and 3 assists. So she played very well, but dealt with some foul trouble and was limited to 26 minutes, which is about 5 minutes less than she averages per game. And the style of game and the slow pace was just not what the Braves are accustomed to, and not how they perform best. And the result was a 10-point loss, 52-42. They'll need to regroup. They play again on Thursday. That'll be it for the women's broadcast. We'll be back with the Wise Guys Construction pregame show for the men's game here in just a moment. You're listening to OU Basketball on KOFO.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of Ottawa University Braves basketball on KOFO. Brought to you by Modern Woodman agent Dale Pearson, Dr. Hale Family Dentistry, Kansas State Bank, Adamson Brothers Heating and Cooling, the Ottawa Recreation Commission, and by State Farm Insurance agent Ryan Dispro, Ransom Memorial Hospital, Sutton's Jewelry, CarStar, Messenger's Home Furnishings. Also by Dingle & Son Mortuary, Ottawa University, the Ottawa Herald, Wise Guys Construction, Kramer Pharmacy, Franklin County Chiropractic, and Cosentino's Price Chopper, State Farm Insurance agent Keith King, Lamb Roberts Funeral Home, People's Bank, Advantage Electric, Quality Structures Incorporated, and Maxwell Chiropractic. For more information about our next OU Brave sports broadcast, log on to the KOFO sports page at KOFO.com and listen to 103.7 FM for the KOFO sports calendar. This has been an exclusive presentation from your sports source for East Central Kansas, KOFO.
If you don't sit in your lucky seat, your team could lose. So don't leave your lucky seat. But do pick up your phone or computer and order B-Dubs to go. Or if you've got a big group, call in for the party menu. That way you can order wings, pick them up, and get back to your lucky seat. And if you do lose while sitting in your lucky seat, you can still feel lucky eating your feelings. Spicy feelings. Keep your superstitions. We do it for you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Prices and participation vary. See participating locations for details. Void where prohibited.
Is that a 747?
Only Taco Bell's $5 Cravings deal has 5 of your favorites in one box.
How do planes fly?
So you don't spend your lunch break deciding what's for lunch.
700,000 pounds in the air and no one questions it?
Freeing your mind for so many other thoughts.
I mean...
They're just planes, man. Get over it. Taco Bell's $5 Cravings box with a cheesy gordita crunch, burrito supreme, taco, nachos, and a Baja Blast. It's the only lunch that frees your mind and your cravings. At participating locations, prices may vary. Tax extra.
ADT presents what to consider when considering home security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at